Yeah, it's your boy Fist in his ass, bringing another great edition of Call of Duty. That's what I do. That's what I like to do too, as well. I want to get into a couple things because I've been reading in the news, you know, the story, how it evolved. It had everything I'm going to talk about in this quick 8-minute video is about, you know, how Call of Duty is not going to change. It's not going to change in that when people talk about Call of Duty 4, it is the purest form of the Call of Duty series game. And let me explain it to you. This is why. If you take every other Call of Duty and you shrink it down to Call of Duty 4, they're all the same, but without all the nonsense in the other games. You know, I had talked about it before. This is like, you know, for example, Kick and, you know, Stabilizer. All that, everything that they're doing, and this is why that game will never change, is because, for one, when I read the story, you know, Activision is not, they are all about profit margins. So they hire Infinity Ward, West and Zampella. They have to share their money with them, the creators of the game. So what they do is I mean, this is that was some awesome shit. This is all thought out, processed. It comes from the top. So what they do is they hire another company, Treyarch, to make Infinity Ward's game at a discount. Then once Treyarch gets better at making Infinity Ward's game, then they basically cut the cost in half. They get rid of the other studio and then just rinse and repeat and do the same thing. Now, the smart thing that Mark Lima did, and he put it, you know, basically made it to where, you know, there's a purpose for his company, and that is Zombies. Zombies is a standalone company or standalone game by itself. So I mean, literally, Treyarch could survive just on Zombies if shit ever went down with their company, and eventually it will, because it'll be too cost effective. It won't be cost effective for them to run Treyarch, and they're not gonna. And the thing I'm saying about this, when you look at Call of Duty, it is the purest form of Call of Duty that you see all in one. When they break everything out of this game and they break it down, you're playing Call of Duty 4, but it's just split up into a bunch of other options. And that's why I say the game will never change. They will never take a chance on doing something innovative to their game, because it just wouldn't make smart business sense in the first place. You're not gonna take a chance and change your game. You just rather play it out as long as you can and just let it die out. So if that's in the back of your head and you're never going to change the game, because that's just the philosophy of, if you find a good game, you ride it out. You don't want to take chances for it to evolve, and you make as much money as possible, and you're a corporation and you're an entity and you want to survive, then that's the bottom line. That's what's going to happen. So you cut out Infinity Ward, and it's the funniest thing. I mean, deductive reasoning, you figure this out. They had people call a fire drill to go have some guy. They called a fire drill at Infinity Ward's company. Then they went in, jacked their computer's information, try to use the information against them. This irrelevant, has nothing to do with nothing, and then they try to give them money before the trial. I'm like, you know, and so it's like, you know, Wes and Zampella, the guys who invented Call of Duty, they were like talking about it in their interview, and they're like, man, we really would have made Modern Warfare 3 different, but we couldn't. And see, Activision doesn't want to work that way. They don't want to, you know, evolve their game. They just want to just get as much as they can. And I'm not talking, like, I'm not trying to say there's a secret here. That's just the way business works. So when people sit there and they're saying, oh man, Treyarch is the best thing since whatever, blah blah blah, since sliced bread, dude, you have to realize this. If you're not in the loop, that, you know, same thing that happened to Infinity War is going to happen to Treyarch. Difference is Treyarch has zombies, and you know, if their company or their unit ever gets unsubcontracted from the Call of Duty franchise, they could go do zombies. They don't need Call of Duty. They really don't need it. It was a smart move. Mark Lima used Activision to create an audience for zombies. I don't know if it's their game or it's Activision's game, but you know, that is a huge ace in the hole that Infinity Ward, you know, just didn't have, or they didn't agree on, and that wasn't their philosophy at Activision, so it doesn't matter. So the bottom line is this: those guys, West and Zampella, the guys who created this game, Call of Duty, you know, they're trying to settle this out of court case, and you know, their heart was still with Call of Duty. So I don't know if they're going to be bringing us another Call of Duty IP. Maybe they're just done with it altogether. But maybe this is the chance that Activision wouldn't take when we see their new game, and if it works, then you could pretty much count out Call of Duty. They'll pretty much be an irrelevant franchise after that point. And then again, you might just see Treyarch making zombies from now on, and they'll just spin off a series from there. Would be the smart thing if they lost this battle to the new kings of first-person shooters. So you know, that's what I'm saying. When you guys see this Treyarch, you're not going to see huge changes from the original game. This game, Call of Duty 4, you're not going to see. If anything, it's just shuffling the cards, and the numbers are different. It's like if you started a Windows file, and then you had a bunch of tabs on it. You know, had a tab for pictures, you had a tab for sound bites, and then in sound bites, you broke it down between music, you know, game video sounds, and you just keep breaking it down, and you finally get to the last tab in your computer, whatever files, and that's what it is. I mean, that's all Call of Duty is a split from the original file of Call of Duty 4. It just keeps going down. And if you play Call of Duty 4, you just fold it all the way back up. You just keep hitting the plus to the minus, or the minus to the plus sign until you get back to Call of Duty 4. That's all it is. So, I mean, are we gonna go see Sledgehammer, Raven, and whatchamacallit? If this franchise keeps going, then those are going to be the guys that are going to be headlining, not Treyarch. I'm not trying to diss on Treyarch shine. I mean, they did earn a spot, but it's still not their game. And I don't care what anybody says. It's a spin on West and Zampella's idea from the original Call of Duty 4. From the main creators, and who had the philosophy and the feeling for their game. You know, anything beyond that, you know, it's like, I'm not buying into it. I'm not gonna buy into it. I don't, you know, I'm not gonna like sit here and, you know, blow smoke up your ass. I just think I take it for what it is. So, anyways, I will get back to the fad videos. I just had to say this because it was just kind of how they did those guys, and all the documents that were released about this whole situation clearly states to me that at the end, it doesn't matter. Activision is not going to change this game, or they have control over it and over Treyarch. They're not going to change the game. You're not going to see some huge, tremendous change in the game because that's their money. And when it dies, then they'll move on to something else. They'll get some other IP, and then they'll do the same thing. And it's the same thing they did with Guitar Hero and so on and so forth. So, I mean, if I was a company, I'd be very wary anyway. I mean, it's pretty shady how that business is ran over there. You know, I think the developers just need a little bit more, you know, respect than what they're getting. Anyways, until next time, it's your boy Fist. Peace. I'm out.